This is you, standing at an operating table in a hospital in Chicago at 11:47 on a Tuesday night. The patient's name is David Callahan, 51 years old, routine cardiac bypass. You have done this surgery 230 times. You know every step the way other people know how to drive to work. Then something changes. A bleed, internal, small at first, then not small. You call for suction. You call for another unit of blood. You work faster. Your hands are doing exactly what they are trained to do. It is not enough. At 11:59, David Callahan's heart stops. At 12:04, it does not start again. You stand at the table for a long moment after the monitor flatlines. The room is very quiet. You did not make a mistake. You know this. Complications happen. The best surgeons in the world lose patients they should have saved. Medicine is not a guarantee. It is a probability. And sometimes the probability falls the wrong way. What you do not know yet is that none of that will matter. The Callahan family hires a lawyer the week after the funeral. The lawsuit says you were negligent, that you moved too slowly, that you made errors in judgment that a competent surgeon would not have made. The hospital's legal team reads the file, calculates the exposure, and makes a decision. It is cheaper to let you take the blame than to fight the case. Your own lawyer tells you the evidence is circumstantial, that you have a strong case, that juries are unpredictable. That settling might be the smarter move. You fight it, you lose. The judgment strips your savings. The legal fees take the rest. And 3 weeks after the verdict, the state medical board revokes your license. You are 44 years old. You have been a surgeon for 16 years. You have a particular set of skills that took 2 decades to build medical school, residency, fellowship, thousands of hours of practice. And you are no longer legally permitted to use any of them. You apply to clinics, research positions, consulting roles, medical device companies, pharmaceutical firms. Anywhere your knowledge might be worth something. Every time, the conversation starts the same way. Warm, interested, promising. And every time, the moment they pull your record and see the revocation, the tone changes. The call ends. The email goes unanswered. One hiring manager tells you directly, "We can't take the liability." Another simply stops responding mid-conversation. You are not a surgeon anymore. You are a man with 16 years of training, thousands of hours of practice, and the specific ability to keep human beings alive under pressure. And there is nowhere in the legitimate world that will let you use any of it. The bills do not stop coming. Rent, malpractice insurance you still owe on, student loans that were never fully paid off. The kind of debt that compounds quietly in the background while you refresh your email and wait for a response that does not come. 3 months after losing your license, you are behind on rent for the second time. You are eating dinner alone in an apartment that used to feel like a home and now feels like a waiting room. You spent the afternoon applying for a job as a medical equipment salesman. They said they would be in touch. They will not be in touch. You were a surgeon. You fixed hearts. You kept people alive on tables in the middle of the night when everything was going wrong, and the margin between life and death was the steadiness of your hands. And now you cannot legally put a bandage on someone's arm. Your phone rings. The caller's name is Marcus Webb. You operated on him 2 years ago. Appendix. Uncomplicated. He recovered well and sent a card to the hospital afterward. You barely remember him.
"I heard what happened,"
he says.
"The lawsuit, the license. I'm sorry. That wasn't right.
You thank him. You wait.
I know someone who needs medical help. The kind they can't get out of hospital. It's simple work, stitches, maybe a minor procedure. Cash, no paperwork. I can't do that."
You tell him.
"I don't have a license. If I practice medicine without a license, nobody's going to find out. These people don't talk to the police."
You tell him no. You hang up. A week later, he calls again. This time, he mentions the amount. It is more than you made in a month at the hospital. You look at the stack of unopened envelopes on your kitchen counter. You say yes. The first job is at your kitchen table. You live 40 minutes outside the city. Remote enough that nobody notices a car pulling up at 2 in the morning. That becomes the arrangement by appointment. Your address only. You clear the table, you lay out the supplies. They come to you, a man with a knife wound in his thigh. Clean cut, no artery involvement, easy to close. You stitch him up in 20 minutes with a technique you could do in your sleep. He does not ask your name, you do not ask his. He puts an envelope on the table, picks up his jacket, and walks out your front door without looking back. You lock up behind him. You tell yourself, this is the last time. Your name starts to move through a certain kind of crowd, the kind of people who don't go to hospitals. Gunshot wounds get reported, knife wounds get questions. Broken bones from the wrong kind of fight bring police into the room. So they don't go to hospitals. They come to you instead. Then one night, 6 weeks in, something changes. You are asleep. It is 3 in the morning. The banging starts hard, urgent, the kind that does not stop. You go to the door. You look through the peephole. 2 men. One is holding the other up. The injured man has a wound in his abdomen, both hands pressed against it, the fabric soaked dark all the way through. The other one is upright and steady, with a pistol at his side. You step back from the door.
I can't help you. Go to a hospital.
The man with the pistol raises it and presses the barrel flat against the glass.
Open the door,
He says.
or I open it myself and you become the second patient.
A long moment. Then you unlock the door. They push inside. You back up. The injured man is lowered onto your kitchen table, and the other one closes the door. He looks at you with the pistol still in his hand, and you look at the injured man on the kitchen table. Gunshot wound, abdomen, entry and exit, the bullet passed through. You have no imaging. You have no proper anesthesia. You work with what you have. The man with the gun watches you the entire time and does not put it away. 40 minutes later, you tie the final suture. The man is breathing steadily. An envelope lands on the counter. They leave without another word. You stand in your kitchen at 4 in the morning with the front door still open and the night air coming in cold. You are not being asked anymore. You understand this now. Afterward, you sit on the couch with the envelope in your hands. You open it. You count it. You sit there for a while thinking about what you could do with this. The rent, your daughter's school trip, the car that has been making a noise for 3 months. Then you put the money back in the envelope. You put the envelope in the filing cabinet. You go to bed. You know too much. You have treated too many of their people. Every job you did is a chain around your ankle. You pick up your daughter from school the next morning. She runs up to you with a folded piece of paper, proud of something. It's a drawing, a man in a white coat, a stethoscope around his neck. Under it, she writes, in her careful 7-year-old handwriting, "My dad saves people." You fold it and put it in your jacket pocket, and you do not take it out again for a long time, but you do not throw it away either. Then, one morning, you go for a walk. It is early, 6:30. The road outside your house is empty the way it always is at this hour. You do this most mornings, one of the few things that still feels like yours, that nobody has reached into yet. You hear the car before you see it, slow, keeping pace. Then, it stops ahead of you. 2 men get out. They are not rushing. They do not need to. Something goes over your face. Then, nothing. You wake up in a chair. Your wrists are free, but your legs are heavy, and your head is thick, and it takes a moment to understand where you are. Glass walls around you. An operating table in the center with a body on it. A woman in scrubs standing beside it, already gloved. The equipment is better than anything in the hospital where you used to work. You look at your hands. They are already clean. Someone scrubbed them while you were under. A man in a suit stands in front of you.
We've been watching your work.
He says.
You're careful, you don't ask questions, you work with what you have. We need that right now.
He steps aside. On the table is a man you recognize immediately. You have seen his face in newspapers. He controls the ports on the south side of the city. He controls the police in 3 districts. He controls everything that moves through this city after dark. He is bleeding internally. His color is wrong. His pressure is dropping.
I need energy.
You say.
I need to know where the bleed is before I open him up. We have imaging.
The man says. He hands you a tablet with a scan already loaded. You know that if he dies on this table, you will not leave this building.
If he dies,
You say.
it won't be because I did something wrong. It will be because he waited too long. I need you to understand that before I start.
The man looks at you.
Understood. Begin.
2 hours and 14 minutes. Your back is screaming, your legs are numb, you are sweating through your shirt. Then, deep in the second hour, his pressure drops fast, faster than it should. The monitor screams, "You do not panic. There was a night in the hospital, years ago, before all of this, when a patient crashed on the table mid-surgery and the room erupted and everyone looked at you. You were calm then too. Not because you were not afraid, but because fear and hands are separate things, and your hands always knew what to do. You learned that about yourself a long time ago. That is why you are here. A secondary bleed, smaller than the first, hidden behind tissue you had already cleared. A vessel that held long enough to fool you and then did not hold anymore. You clamp it. You work. The monitor steadies, slowly. Then it holds. You stand there for a moment, hands still inside a man who runs half a city, and you notice that your hands are not shaking. They never shake. That was always true. It was true the first night in your kitchen with a gun in the room. It is true here. It will be true wherever they take you next. You tie the final suture. You step back. He is alive. The man enters.
Better than I expected.
He says, "You pull off your gloves." You tell him you want to go home. The man nods and leads you out of the glass room, down a hallway, through a door, out to a car idling in a private lot. You get in. Before you are fully seated, he reaches in and places an envelope on the seat beside you.
Count it.
He says, "You do. You count it twice. It is more than everything else combined." He leans against the doorframe.
We know your daughter's school, her schedule, her face.
He says it the way people state facts, not threats.
You did good work today. When we call you, we will call you. You answer. No delays, no question. Enjoy the weekend with her.
The car moves. Through the window, you watch the building disappear behind you. You do not know what part of the city you are in. You will not be able to find this place again. That is deliberate. In a few hours, you will pick up your daughter. She will run toward you and grab your hand, and you will spend the day pretending to be the person she thinks you are. They will call again. But the question is when. If you want to see more stories like this one, check out our last video on the sniper who made the longest kill in history. Click on it, and we'll see you in the next one.